Right, Alan Thompson, the man of the moment. And before I do a wee interview, I just wanted to say happy birthday. 48 today?
48 today, yeah. COVID birthday.
48, look like 58.
Feel like 68, aye.
So listen, I've watched a lot of interviews these last couple of weeks, and I want to do something different. I want to just say, right, so we've done the book. Took us like most of this year. It was a hard struggle. It was hard for you. It was hard for me. I didn't plan on the boss fighting cancer and a few other things, but we got there in the end. I know I'm biased, but it's a bloody outstanding book. I knew it's been massive in sales. It's done. It's probably, I mean, it's my 20th book, and it's shown signs of being the most successful. I never thought anything would be as big as Lee Duffy, The Hall of the Moon, and this is absolutely trouncing it. So why now, right? Because 15 years ago, John Hartson, Chris Sutton, Stilian Petrov, Neil Lennon, Martin didn't do a book, Martin O'Neill, but someone done two on him. Jackie McNamara recently. So why now? Why after all these years did you want to do a biography?
Well, I just think, as you said, a lot of my mates had done them, my teammates and stuff. But for a long time, I guess, I just didn't think I had a story worth telling. And I've been asked a couple of times from certain other people, journalists and a couple of broadcasters to do one, but I never really got around to doing it and didn't really fancy doing it until during lockdown yourself come along and give me the opportunity to do it, and I was quite happy to do that
then. I spoke to someone a couple of years back, and he said, when I done my biography, he said, all the things I've done in my life, the mistakes, it was like therapy. It was like I put that part of my life away. Did it feel like that for you?
Yeah, I would say so to a certain extent. It was living in your house for 7 days was therapy on itself, you know. So it was intense. It was nice to get my side of the story out there. A lot of people had lots of different opinions on me and what I was and what I was about. So I just wanted to put my side of the story across as honestly as I could, and I think that's how it comes across in the book, doesn't it?
Brutally honest. But it's interesting you should say that, because I think, you know, I'm fanatical about Celtic, always have been. But the perception I had of Alan Thompson is very different. And I'll tell you why. I had this idea that you were almost like a serial womanizer. I thought you were a bit of a bad guy. I thought you were someone who liked a bit of a fight, because that's how you come across on the pitch. And you know, reading the book, you're anything but that. Yes, you can cause a fight in an empty house. Yes, you're fiery. Chris Sutton describes you as a fiery all-in, and I think that pretty sums you up. But you're very different to the Alan Thompson that I watched for years.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, what do they say? Don't judge a book by its cover. Although hopefully our cover's not a bad one. It's going to winning goal at Ibrox. So no,
it's iconic, isn't it?
It's just the perception people have on you, and that's not me at all. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
Yeah. Does it bug you that people have had this perception of you? You know, when you're not really like that, because you know, I'm very open-minded, and and I'm very switched on, and I take a lot in. And you had me fooled for years, and a lot of people have this different opinion. Does it bug you when you read the headlines and Alan Thompson is this and that, and you sat there thinking, well, actually, I'm not?
No, I wouldn't say it bugs us. No, that's just the way that the press work. I got used to it over the years, so no, it doesn't bother me in the slightest. It didn't bother me back then. It doesn't bother me now. So you've got to be thick-skinned, whether you're in football or football coaching or management. You've got to be thick-skinned to a certain extent. So when you get negativity said about you, yeah, that's not nice when it's negative. Whether it's when you're a player or when you're a coach. When it's negative stuff about your performances or stuff like that, yeah, of course that's hard to take. But in terms of the other stuff, no, just over my head.
Yeah, you know, there's a saying in life: if you want to be successful, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable. So you were in the limelight. You had the money, you had the lifestyle, you had the cars, you had the designer clothes. You probably had the women throwing themselves. Is that easy to? How is that? How do you deal with that when you're this young lad, and then all of a sudden you get this attention? Does anyone teach you, you know, to deal with the money? Listen, you're a footballer now. You know, you're open to being blackmailed. People doing stories on you. You know, you talk about this in the book, but you know, these days, I'm pretty sure these footballers get taught. But back in your time, Alan, did anyone give you life lessons? I mean, or was it just people like Matt O'Neill and Bruce Rioch who had to be that father figure?
Yeah, you have good people around you, you know, good parents, good people around you. Obviously, the managers you've just mentioned there, senior players who you play with. You know, I got great advice from a player called David Kelly when I was a young lad, just starting to earn money. He said, bang money into your pension. You know, if you can bang money into your pension, you finish playing football and you've paid for your house, you haven't got a mortgage. That was probably the best advice I could have got as a young lad, because I took heed and I done what David said. I've got a fantastic pension, even though I've had financial difficulties of late. The pension's one silver lining that I have got. So great advice from senior pros. You don't get life lessons. You just learn from good people.
And what does Alan Thompson do today? I suppose you're middle aged. You know, 48 today. So what you know? What's your future? I mean, what's Alan Thompson today all about?
Well, today it's my birthday and I'm sat in the house with COVID. So that's not perfect, but no, the future. I'd like to get back into football in some capacity. I've been missing for a few years now, so I want to get back in, whether it's with kids or whether it's with the first team, an under 23 squad. I want to get back in some capacity and give back something that I've learned over the years, because I feel like I've still got a lot to give.
Yeah, because you know you're 48, and as the saying goes, you can't teach a dog new tricks. Listen, I'm sure your left foot still works well, but your legs have probably gone. You can't go and play football today for a living, but you have a lot of knowledge. You have a lot of invaluable experience. Do you see yourself going back into the game as a coach, maybe a scout? So what's Alan Thompson want to do next year?
Well, if I can get back into coaching, then so be it. I've been a coach at Newcastle, Celtic, Birmingham, Blackpool, Bury. So I've been a coach. I'd like to have a go at management and put my own ideas across. So if something come across lower down the leagues, that's something I'd love to look to do, to get back in and being a manager or a head coach, whatever you get called this day and age. It's normally a head coach now, not so much a manager. So that's something that I'd like to do, to give something back, get on the grass and coaching again.
Yeah, so we've got a few people watching. Has anyone got any questions for Alan? So this book, I'm going to put in the link. I'm obviously going to share this to lots of pages later. So if anyone fancies checking out Alan Thompson, A Geordie Boy, written by myself, forward by none other than Martin O'Neill. To give you an insight, an average book is probably 70,000 words. That's just under 100,000. Can I ask you, Tomo, in the last couple of weeks, have you read the book back, and how have you felt? Have you got mixed emotions? Does it make you sad? Does it make you happy?
Yeah, I've read it back a couple of times. Yeah, mixed emotions, some good, some bad. But I think it comes across as just as I wanted it to be. Didn't want it to just be football. It's about life in general as well, from a kid to being a professional footballer. Before being a professional footballer, having a bad car accident, you know, so and then the struggles after that. So obviously there's highs and massive lows in there as well. So I'm pleased the way it's come across, yeah.
I mean, can I ask you, what does this sound like? What does this make you feel like as a human being? You know, when there's thousands of fans adoring you, how does that make you feel?
Well, it's great, isn't it? I've been in Glasgow quite a lot recently, doing some gigs and stuff. And albeit there was a big one at the Glasgow and the Hydro, which I think there was about 12 or 14,000 people there. You know, probably to see Henrik Larsson more than anybody. But you know, just to get that adulation, even the smaller gigs in front of 200-300 people, just to get the attention, and all these years after finishing playing is phenomenal, really. And it's predominantly from the Celtic fans, obviously. Because that was probably the most successful period of my career, followed closely by Bolton, if I'm honest. But yeah, it's great to go back and get people asking for selfies. You don't get many people asking for signatures nowadays. It's normally selfies and stuff like that. So it is.
Everyone's got a phone.
Yeah, no, it's nice.
I mean, obviously, I've really dug deep in your life. And you mentioned Bolton there. I mean, I spoke to the Bolton News the other week. I think you spoke to them this week. So they're going to do a piece on you. Birmingham paper done something on you. Newcastle paper, several Scotland ones. But Bolton, in your book, you had 5 years there, and you described it as some of the best years of your life. I recently, I was reading a poll, and I think you just missed out on being in one of the greatest ever Bolton's 11. You know, listen, we know you're adored by the millions of Celtic fans, but in Bolton, for Bolton Wonders, they really remember you with great fondness.
Yeah. Bolton was a great club for me. It was wrench for me to leave Newcastle to go to Bolton as a young lad, but it's something I wouldn't change for the world now. I had 5 great years. Played for Bruce Rioch, who was a great manager. Colin Todd, who was a great manager. Played with some great lads, and met some great people. So, no, Bolton was a massive part of my life. My eldest child was born in Bolton, so I'll always hold Bolton close to my heart. Yeah.
And so a couple of more. So how can, if people are watching this, what's the best way to actually think, hang on, we've got a question. Leanne Campbell, hi Tomo, you still mean so much to the Celtic family. We love you still and have a passion for our great club. I want to ask, what was your favourite goal wearing the hoops? Regards, Leanne Campbell.
My favourite goal, Barcelona goal will always be, I'll always hold that fondly, scoring the winning goal against Barca. Not many people get to do that. Probably the one at Celtic Park, the one that I bent round the late Fernando Rickson in off the crossbar over Stefan Klos. That would be the one. I think it was about 85, 86 minutes and the score was 0-0.
86 minutes.
86 minutes, there you go. So that's probably the one that was probably the best one I'd scored, and the one that was probably the most important as well.
Yeah, you know, I mean, that's I mean, I'm not going to use the word, but there's quite a naughty word which the Celtic fans describe you, and it's probably the highest accolade if you've played in them games. And if you type in that word, something Skelper, your name will come up along with Henrik Larsson, Musa Dembele, Lubo Moravcik. You know, you're very much captured in Glasgow folklore, and not only from the green and white, that's also from the blue half of Glasgow. You know, I was talking to well, there's a guy called Ian Blink McDonald, who is a friend knows him, and he was kind of one of Glasgow's most infamous kind of bank robbers, and he's a close friend of Paul Ferris, and he's a staunch Blue Nose Rangers man, and he very much remembers you. So there you go. You know, it's not only the Celtic side, it's also the other side of Glasgow.
Aye, without a doubt, it goes without saying, doesn't it? I had ups and I had downs against Rangers. Obviously, I think I had more good days than bad days against them. But I still get good comments, even from Rangers fans, even on social media. And if I see them when I'm in Glasgow, it's not all doom and gloom with them. You do get some compliments as well. So, it's a game of football at the end of the day.
Yeah. So how can people, this is on YouTube, if people have listened in and they want to hire Tomo, because you're quite active now with your evening whiffs, how can people, what's the best form of getting in touch?
Well, either through Twitter or Instagram, or through yourself. So I haven't got an agent as yet, but don't know, that might be the way forward, getting an agent. I watched Celebrity MasterChef last night, and Razor Ruddock was on, so I might have to give Razor a ring, find out who his agent is, get on them Celebrity MasterChefs, because I love me cooking. And
I was going to say that's more Alan Thompson than going to fight boy band members, which we all know about recently. Boxing's something that's been close to my heart. The only thing I ever got out of boxing was a new nose, which I got operated on because I used to box with my face. But how was the boxing experience, Tomo?
I loved the training. I really enjoyed the training. But once I started the sparring and then the eventual fight, I realised it wasn't for me. But listen, it was for a good cause. It was promoting a mental health charity. So it was for a good cause, and I really enjoyed it. I won't be doing it again. So my fight record will be 1-0. So I'll not be doing it again, but that's something that I've ticked the box now, and lots of respect to anyone who's been in the ring. Anyone who gets in the ring, whether they're pro or amateur or a novice like me, takes a lot of courage to do it, and it's something I'm pleased I've done and witnessed the experience, but I'll not be rushing to do it again. Yeah,
it's certainly it's probably the bravest thing I've ever done. I don't know what you felt like when you look at your opponent and you think, you can feel the floor shaking and you think, shit, any second now we're going to run at each other and smack each other. Christopher O'Keefe asks, off the pitch, Tomo, what's the funniest thing you've done or seen? And would you stay at Jamie's again?
Yeah, I'd stay at Jamie's again, but it would be for one night only. The funniest thing I've seen off the pitch. One of the funniest things I ever seen was when I was a young lad at Newcastle. Gaza was injured. He was in the first team at the time, but he was injured, and he was watching training. And at the training ground, we had a lad called Davey. He was the head groundsman, but he had this big Alsatian, and this Alsatian got out, and Gaza didn't like it, so Gaza ran away. Well, the manager was like, he's meant to be injured. He's meant to have a hamstring injury, and he's sprinting away from this dog. And we were just like, he obviously was injured, but he was that shit scared of the dog. He didn't feel his hamstring. He just ran away from it. So that was Gaza in a tin hat.
Yeah. I mean, do you know what? When we were first speaking, we thought about names. A few things come up. One was my left foot, and then it was you. I would like to take credit for it, but it was solely you. You said a Geordie boy, and I said that's it. So I think that basically sums you up. Clues in the name. You're a proud Geordie, and obviously for marketing sales, we needed the Celtic spin on it. What do you go back to Newcastle often today? I mean, is Newcastle still in your roots? Is it still in your blood?
Yeah, of course it is. Me 3 kids live there. My mum and dad live there. Got some my best mates live there. So yeah, of course it's in my blood. It'll always be in my blood, Newcastle. So I was meant to be going up on Monday for a few days, see the kids, see my parents, but obviously I tested positive for COVID on Sunday, so I didn't get up on Monday. So that's been a tough one to swallow. I'll have to wait till after Christmas now till I get to see them. But Newcastle will always be in my blood without a doubt.
So 48 today. What's your plans this evening then? If you're going to celebrate your birthday, or you're not, or is there anything you can?
I think we're just going to get a nice takeaway. Might treat myself to a glass of fizz. Put the fire on and watch some TV. Maybe put a bit of music on.
Jerry Cinnamon.
Ailey's laughing in there. What? Socially distanced, just keeping 2 meters away from us, she said.
I don't blame her. So listen, the book is out. It's doing tremendously well. In fact, it's doing staggering. It's that on fire. I'm surprised it's not burning my hands. So where can people buy it?
It's on Amazon. It's in Waterstones. It's the publisher's Warcry Publishing's website. They can get it on there. So it's available. So I hope people enjoy reading it. It's from the heart. As I just said to the guys on TalkSport, I just done TalkSport before I spoke to you, and we're Hawksby and Jacob.
You got a fact wrong. You lost your first all game 5-1, not 4-1.
Oh, I did. I was at 5-1. Well, I was in the
dressing room. Listening, shaking my head.
I was in the dressing room at Ibrox, so I must have missed the goal.
Yeah, and that was the day when Martin wanted to do a bit of boxing with you, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was when he nearly gave us a right and a left. Yeah. So not a great day.
Can I ask you? Is Martin O'Neill? I mean, I've met him and I was in awe, but he's kind of got that kind of like Ronnie Cray mannerisms. He does that a lot, and he kind of is he as scary as I think he is when he loses it?
Yeah, when he was a manager, he had an aura about him without a doubt. Yeah. Lovely guy though, absolutely lovely guy. He'd do anything for you. And recently, the last 2 years, he's been there for me. Spoke to him on many occasions when I've needed an ear, someone to listen to me. So he's a great guy, wonderful man, and he'll do anything to help anyone.
And I mean, me and you, we've done a kind of shortlist. Now a forward for a book it should be 1 to 3 pages. I mean, Martin's was 5, but to be honest, if Martin wanted 30, I would have allowed him. You know, we possibly we made a shortlist. You know, a forward is the most famous, infamous, notorious character you know.
What we should have done was we should have let you do the forward and Martin write the book. Would have been a bestseller then.
It's complete. it's magical. It's poetry, and you know, some of the names we discussed: Henrik Larsson, Paul Gascoigne, Alan Shearer. But I think as soon as Martin's name come up, I said, "That's it. You know, obviously it was up to you, but that was it." And when you read the forward, you're just like, wow, Martin O'Neill written that.
Yeah, he's brilliant. Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, very.
Sean,
he was very honoured when I asked him to do it. I told him I'd narrowed it down to himself and Alan Shearer. So he was pretty taken aback when I'd chosen Martin before Alan. So
yeah, well, I'm hoping he's going to do it again when I possibly do Didier Gat's book. So Sean Slavin said, staggering player. It's on my stocking list. Hail, hail. Have a great Christmas. What about the COVID crowds? 500. Thanks, Sean. So anything you wanted to add, Tomo?
No, I just hope everyone stays safe over this period. Obviously, I've been unfortunate to catch it the last few days, but stay safe, everyone. Have a great Christmas and New Year, and hopefully might be back in football. You might see me on the touchline in the new year.
Right, well, listen, guys, if you go in the bio for this video, so I'm going to put the Amazon link. So Amazon at the minute is free delivery. So if you click on the link, you can buy it and it will just cost you $14.95. I'm going to put Tomo's Instagram link and I'm going to put Tomo's Twitter. He's a bit of a dinosaur. He's only just got a Betamax video. But do you know what? If you want to get in touch with Alan Thompson, I probably would think Twitter is the best bet for you, Alan. Wouldn't you say so?
Yeah, I would say Twitter. And obviously, and if I can help anyone out, if they want signed copies and stuff like that, I'm always happy if people I'm happy to send it to a certain address where I can send it back signed for you. So as long as you send me a stamped addressed envelope, I'm happy to do
that. And have you got any more ideas about doing any more books in a couple of years?
Yeah, there's a possibility I could do something in a couple of years. Maybe just all about Celtic. So we'll see. Let's see how this one does first and foremost, and get the feedback. And hopefully, it's all positive. Not too much negativity. I'm looking forward to seeing what people think of it. Yeah.
Have you? I mean, I've got to ask. We've got 12 Amazon reviews now. For anyone who doesn't know, so they go up in 5 stars, goes up in half a stars. So the 12 people who've left Amazon reviews have basically left 10 out of 10. Have you had any kind of negative feedback on Twitter? You know, obviously we did a little bit with when it was getting serialized. I personally don't think it was your fault. Obviously it was probably to do with the paper. I'm not going to go into that, but you know, to be honest, it wasn't even your fault. That was my fault because, you know, at the end of the day, we got the biggest paper in the country. You know, obviously people have problems of that certain type because of the Liverpool thing. You know, but has there been much kind of, have you had much trolling or?
No, I've had nothing but positive stuff said about it. So whether it's been through social media or anything, whether it's been friends of mine who I've given books to, I've had nothing but positive feedback about it. So no, all good up to now. But listen, you're going to get negativity. So be it. I just have to take it on the chin. I'm a big boy now. I'm 48. So you're going to have the haters. You're going to have the trolls. So be it. I'll crack on. It's an honest opinion of my life. So
it's brutally honest. It's absolutely brutally honest.
Yeah, well, that's how I wanted it to be. But I didn't see the point in doing it if it wasn't going to be brutally honest. There's no point in beating around the bush. 20
books, Tomo, I'm not just saying this on my children's lives. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. You are the only person I've sat with a dictaphone. You didn't avoid one question. I would have done. And you never. And that's just, you know, I'm being honest.
But that's what people want to hear. People want to hear the honesty. They want to hear what's gone on in your life. They want to hear about what's gone on in dressing rooms. They want to hear what's gone on in your personal life. So yeah, why not? Why not just be honest and open, and then hopefully that'll come across when people read it.
Yeah, so I must say that so January the 14th, an evening with Alan Thompson, and that's at Greenock. So get in touch with myself at Jamie Boyle 10 on Twitter. So then you're in Middlesbrough, January the 22nd at Legends Bar. Tickets are £15, and then you're at the Irish Centre, Newcastle, and that's February the 5th. So there's 3 dates, an evening with. And are you basically going to be?
Yeah, I think there's one in Liverpool Irish Centre as well.
When's that?
End of I think, I'm not sure when that is, end of January. I'd have to look when it is, but it's at the Irish Centre in Liverpool, January or February, late January or late February. I'll have to look at the dates.
Yeah, well, if anyone wants any more information on them dates, get in touch with me at Jamie Boyle 10 or at Alan Tomo 8 on Twitter. And you know, just thanks for your time, Alan. Thanks for taking a chance on me, because although I've got lots of best-selling books, I've never done a book in the football genre. So as much as you've been good for my career, you basically took a chance on a little punk like myself. Was there any times where you thought, he's not the guy for me? Yes, he's good looking. Yes, he's brilliant. But you know, was there any chance of?
Yeah, probably last week when you sent us the video through, sat on the toilet. Yeah, that was probably the big one. That was yeah. Well, you'll avoid that one now, will you?
do you know what that just means? You're in my circle of love. And if you get any videos from me in my wife's 90, like Paul Venice does, like George, like you're my closest circle. But no, do you know what, mate? You've been fantastic for me. You got me before we even met. You know, when you're on form, there's no one better to be around than Alan Thompson. And when you're not, it's like, get me a bottle of vodka and 100 paracetamol. I'm going to cut my wrists.
I can be hard work at times. Don't worry about that. My kids have always called us a grumpy bastard. So
yeah, that's very fitting. Are you still in touch with any people from the football game? Is there any people you want to shout out and give them a big love?
Yeah, I'm in touch with a lot of people. Peter Beagrie, good friend of mine, Peter Beagrie, Steve Watson, Lee Clark, John Hartson, Chris Sutton. Chris Sutton was texting us this morning, so John Hartson sent us a good look. Jackie McNamara, Rob Douglas, Paul Lambert. I keep in touch with a lot of lads, so all good guys and all doing well for themselves.
Is it kind of like an affinity? Because you were part of that Martin O'Neill era, your Bobo Baldys, your Didier Gats, your Paul Lamberts. Do you still have that kind of closelessness?
Yeah, I think for anyone who was at the Hydro a few weeks ago on the Monday night in Glasgow, on a Monday night, 14,000 people come out to watch a Q&A. It was a great turnout. Obviously, the manager was there, the gaffer Martin. Chris Sutton, Henrik Larsson, John Hartson, myself, Jackie McNamara, Johan Mialbi, Lubo Moravcek, amongst others. So it was just a great night, and I don't think any other club in the world would get 14,000 people on a Monday night just before Christmas come and watching a Q&A. It was astonishing. It was one of the best nights I've ever had. So anyone that was there, I'm sure, will tell you what a cracking night it was, and the gaffer had the final word. So no matter what Sutton said, no matter what Sutton had to say, the gaffer had the final word, and I think he made 14,000 people have a few laughs.
And I mean, in the book, you would describe Chris Sutton as Martin O'Neill's love child. Your nickname is Hooch, and anyone who wants to know why, you've got to buy the book. But one last question. Are you still scared of Martin O'Neill?
No, not at all. Nothing but respect for the man. But no, be great. And since he's done the forward, he's invited me down to London, so I'll have to go down to London and treat him to lunch. So
yeah,
no, nothing but love for him.
Yeah, I need to take him on a Jack the Ripper tour because he loves all the true crime.
I watched something the other night on BBC on Jack the Ripper. He's a bad man, wasn't he? I know you're right into it, but I watched something the other night.
You'll have to tell me what it was called.
It was on BBC iPlayer, and it was a psychologist and that woman from
the blonde girl.
Really good. Yeah, the blonde girl. Yeah, from I forget the name of the program, but
Amelia Fox.
Amelia Fox. So it was good.
Yeah, that's a fantastic one. That. But
right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I've got to go and get my PCR test now. Is that all right?
Right, listen, always a pleasure, Tomo. So,
listen,
anyone who wants to get in touch with Alan, I'm going to put the bio in. I'm going to put the links in the bio. So click on, follow him on Instagram, follow him on Twitter, and don't forget to click on Amazon to buy the book. Thanks for your time, Alan. God bless.
All right. Cheers, everyone. All the best.